Okay, so this is episode 3. Okay. Welcome to Mommy Issues, because you know we got more issues than both. So today I have someone else to help me, and this is what my channel is all about, sisterhood. So I have one of my sisters in life, Shawnda, helping me out in this video, and she is a wife, a mom of a 1-year-old, and a full-time working mom. And the focus of this video is mommy guilt. Now, I did some research because I was like, okay, I know mommy guilt exists, but like, you know, what's like the medical term, or what's like the official like definition of mommy guilt? And there wasn't any. So when I looked up the definition, first thing that actually popped up was a website called Active Kids, and their definition of mommy guilt was this: the feeling of guilt, doubt, or anxiousness, and uncertainty experienced by moms when they worry that they are falling short. That's it. Yeah. I felt like that hit it on the nail.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you say it. Because that's absolutely how you feel when you have mommy guilt. Like, you just can't get it right, no matter what.
You feel like you're failing.
Yeah, all the time. So my question to you is, have you ever experienced mommy guilt?
Oh, have I? So, within the first, I would want to say, month of my son's life, you know, you go through a bunch of emotions, and it made me feel a ton better, you know, the first time I was able to get out of the house, and, you know, we sat down and talked, and just knowing that someone else was kind of going through the same thing that I was going through, and I wasn't crazy, that made me feel a ton better.
Yeah. So, speaking about that, getting out the house, when you went back to work, how did that feel?
Oh, it was such a hard day. Literally, I was up the entire night. I was just watching him, hugging him, holding him.
That's him right now, by the way.
Just
in case you hear me crying.
That's it.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. You were up holding him and crying?
Yeah, I mean, just not crying, but just holding him and just knowing like this is our last few hours together. And you know, then getting up in the morning and taking him to daycare, it was just so hard. And then, you know, I get to the daycare and I know he's okay. I'm telling the babysitter, this is for this is for that, do this, do that. And she's like, Mommy, he's okay. He's going to be fine.
We get it worse. We feel it worse.
She's like, he's going to be fine. He didn't even cry when I left.
I know. We would be the ones crying up a storm. And they're like, doo-doo-doo, it's fine.
Yeah. Yep, and he was okay the entire day. I mean, he played with her. He got to know her. And
when did you take him? At what age did you take him to daycare?
He was 4 months.
See, and I feel like at 4 months, they don't really have separation anxiety yet.
Yeah,
we do. But now, like 1, because both of our babies are 1. Mm-hmm. That separation anxiety
is real. It's real.
It is. Like, so now when you go to work, how does he act?
Luckily, he's with his dad in the morning. So his dad takes him to daycare. He's, you know, familiar with the babysitter now, so he's happy to see her. She's a familiar face. And then when we, either dad or me, pick him up at the end of the day, he's happy to see us.
Right.
You know, it's not tears. It's not like, oh my God, where have you been? He's gotten used to it. And then when I come home, when I see him at the end of the day, he's ready to jump out of his dad's hands. And come to me because it's like, Mommy, where have you been all day? Like, I'm happy to see you.
It's the same thing, but like, because I'm home still with the baby, I get separation anxiety. Literally, if I go to a different room, she's like, why did you leave me? And I'm like, girl, just walk with me.
No, we still go through that too. If I leave the room and he doesn't see me, he's having a fit.
So I want to get your opinion on what you think a good parent is, because with mommy guilt, sometimes we feel like no matter how good we're trying to be, or no matter how good of a parent you are, period, you never feel good enough. So, like, what do you think a good parent is?
Ultimately, when you're putting a child first, their needs, above all others, because this little person depends on you. They're fed, they're clothed, they're changed, they're happy. Generally, if you have a happy child, you're doing a pretty good job, in my eyes.
I mean, I agree. I feel like putting your child first. But I think one thing that we need to also remember is that, like, if we don't take care of ourselves as moms, or even as parents in general, dads, caregivers of children, when you are not at least, because, I mean, being at 100% and having a baby is kind of like
never gonna happen.
I don't think that's a thing that you can actually do. But at least being at, like, 75, taking some time to take care of yourself is very important. Yeah. Not only, right, to make sure that you're able to take care of your child, but when you have, like, an older child, like my son is 7, right, showing him how to take care of yourself.
Right, absolutely.
They need to see that. So I think that's part of being a good parent as well. There are so many different ways to be good parents. So because I was looking for the definition of mommy guilt and I really couldn't find, like, an official definition, I did more research and I came across this website called Messy Motherhood. And they said that according to studies, the quality of time you spend with your child trumps the time you actually spent with them. And I have mixed feelings about that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know your opinion on that.
Yeah, definitely mixed feelings on that one because, you don't have to spend every day, all day with your child for it to be good quality time. But then at the same time, you don't want to spend 5 minutes every day or just an hour every day. You want your child to know you and feel comfortable with you. There's a lot of parents out there who spend no time with their kids, really. They're, they're with a sitter, they're with a nanny, and they don't know their child, and their child really can't relate to them because they're not, the time that they do spend with them, it's not quality time. So it kind of goes 50-50 with that one.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. In a way, I feel like there are some parents who have to work, right? So they don't get to spend a lot of time, especially now that I'm home and I work only in the mornings and sometimes at night. I get to spend a lot of time with my children, right? And I think back of when I had to actually work, and I'm like, wait, so we went to work. Sabian went to the daycare for at least, most of the time we did it about 8 hours a day each, right? Then add another hour to go to work, add another hour to get home. So that's like 10 hours out of 24 hours. And then you still got to sleep about 8 hours. Right? So, like, what time are you really spending with your children? And it's like, damn, sometimes you only have the weekend.
Right.
And then on the weekend, you got stuff to do.
I mean,
so it's hard.
It is. Like, I make it a point, if I'm working late, if I know, I leave first in the morning. So my husband has that time in the morning where he sees his face when he wakes up. He's excited to see him. So when I come home now at the end of the night and I get off of work at 4, but I'm not reaching home until 6, it's hard, but I cook dinner. I bathe him, I sit with him to eat. We play for a little bit. I put him to sleep. He gets that this is mommy time, and he looks forward to it. Right,
yeah. And do you think, like, having a specific routine like that helps with it?
It does. It does, because I can tell he finds comfort in it, When he's ready to go to sleep, my husband can do it and has done it. But he looks for mommy. He does. He wants to hug up. He wants to, my bottle, my cozy place. So he looks forward to that. I can tell.
And I think that's what makes it quality time. So, like, you don't have a lot of time, but that time you do have, you make sure that it's quality time. And I think that's very important. Because, sometimes we're around our kids, right? Like, sometimes, I'm not going to lie, I'm home with my daughter all the time, and sometimes where's this? Like, I'm cooking. So I don't know if that's, I mean, I guess it could be quality time and that she sees me doing things she's learning from me. But, like, I don't know if that's quality time, right? And I'm spending that time with her. But, like, having a routine that you do with your child, like reading books. I used to read books to my son before he went to school. I mean, before he went to bed, every night. He looked forward to that every night. He loved that. And I think that is what makes quality time.
But even with Lydia and you know, even while you're cooking or cleaning up and you're still talking to her, you see her, you know, you may be playing peekaboo, make a face. For her, those little things, they matter, you know. She gets excited.
Yeah, she does.
So it's still important. It's still important. Every little bit that they see, that they interact with us, it's really important to them. They enjoy it. You know, we can tell they're smiling, they're happy. So that is quality time.
So mommy guilt is something that all moms experience. So if you experience mommy guilt, drop a comment in the box. Don't forget to like the video and don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more from Mommy Issues. Thank you again, Shawnda, for being in my video.
My pleasure.
And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.